edition of the Greyhound Football Report. We're going to be bringing this report to you weekly for the remainder of our off-season conditioning program, and then over the summer when we have some really interesting events planned and things you guys are going to like. So for most of you, spring doesn't start for quite a while, but for our football program, spring starts the first weekend of March. And if your son was one of the guys who was up here for our open field today, you're already aware of that. Had a great morning this morning where our guys got to do some work and also play a little bit of what we call trash ball. It develops football skills. They had a great time. So our second phase of our off-season conditioning program's hard at it right now. When the boys show up on Monday, they're going to be divided up into teams they're already aware of. Ask them about it. It's going to be cool. And they'll be doing some competition along with the off-season conditioning program. We've had some good experience so far. We started on January the 4th, and what we learned is guys who showed up from January 4th until now, 80% of the time or more, experienced some really dramatic results. So the gains the guys have made have been impressive. And if you recall from last year, we didn't even have weights in our weight room by this time. So we're really working with the added benefit of having a full off-season conditioning program. It's starting to pay off. On the other hand, if you haven't heard anything from your sons about the great things that are happening, he probably hasn't been up here 80% of the time or even at all. This is the only way we get better in the off-season. It's the foundation to our football program. So we ask that if your son hasn't been up here that much, light a fire under him, get him up here. It's important to what we do. It's going to be important to his progress. So along with the start of spring conditioning comes the end of the third quarter for us. It's about time for parent-teacher conferences, and over the course of the last 8 weeks we've been doing our weekly grade checks, and certainly if your son's not been doing what he should be doing academically, you've heard from us. If you haven't heard from us, he's probably doing pretty well. We look forward to seeing you in a week and a half at parent-teacher conferences. Please feel free to stop by. And in the meantime, we'd like you to mark your calendar for April the 21st. That's going to be our first parent meeting of the spring. We'll go over everything we have planned for the summer and make sure everybody's on the same page. All the guys are ready to go. Looks like we'll be bringing these to you every week. So until next week, think Greyhound football.